Hey, what's up guys? Chad here with the Reptile Rangers. Now we're at the Kernersville Reptile Zoo and Medical Center again today, and I'm going to show you a pretty cool little ball python morph. All right, just before we get into that, right in that corner right there is our subscriber button. Make sure you hit that, and we appreciate you doing so. And those ones that already have, we appreciate you following along week after week after week. So let's go ahead and let's get right into this. All right, so this beautiful little guy right here is a bumblebee ball python, okay? Now, the bumblebee ball python is a very early on two-gene morph, okay? It's codominant. Parents are codominant, meaning one parent can be paired to, let's say you take a pastel, you pair it to a normal. Some of the babies are going to come out pastel, some of them are going to come out normal. In a recessive genetic, as we've talked about before, and if you want to see that, go back further in the videos on ball python genetics made simple, okay? I'll go over a little bit deeper into that, and so do a lot of folks, folks that breed ball pythons, especially a lot more regularly than I do now, and we do now. We don't breed ball pythons nowhere near as regularly anymore as we used to. However, recessive genes means it takes two to tango, okay? And so for albinos, for clown, for pied, for a lot of your other recessive genetics, both parents have to carry the genes or the alleles in order to produce that particular color. But in a codominant situation, this parent can be dominant, one can be dominant, pair it off to something else, and it will produce what that one parent was, essentially. At least one or two of. A couple of, okay? Again, what we have is the bumblebee ball python here, which is a combination of both pastel and spider. You take those, you pair them together, and you create this beautiful little guy right here. Now, the pastel genetic has been around. That was one of probably the earliest morphs that was produced, okay? The spider was not far behind that, and then of course when you take and you pair the two together, you create a double genetic, which was known as the bumblebee. Now in years of late, we have learned over the past 15, 18, 20 years that the spider gene does come with a genetic flaw called the head wobble. And understand that some folks won't breed spiders at all anymore because of the possibility of that genetic flaw. And then some folks will still breed them, and as long as there's no signs of the barrel rolling, the corkscrewing, the head wobble, the tremors, anything like that, then they'll go ahead and breed that animal. But however, when you see one that has a wobble, if you pair it off to something and it produces babies, the babies that carry the spider gene will have that wobble worse. It gets worse through the generations. And a lot of folks wasn't sure about that years and years ago. It was like, oh, maybe this is just, it was just a bad one, or just one that's just acting weird. And over time, we've learned that, yes, it is an inherited trait. It's not just one of these fluke things that happens just here and there. It is an actual inherited trait. So a lot of folks tend to stay away from the spider gene as much anymore as they used to, okay? But you do have, again, the bumblebee, meaning it is the pastel paired with the spider, both being codominant genetics, so they can create other forms of themselves. You can pair them off together, and they will produce things without either one carrying the other gene. This right here is the beautiful, beautiful little bumblebee. There's the baby. Awesome little genetics, and they're absolutely beautiful. They really are pretty. They get the name bumblebee because of the obvious yellow and black striping like a bumblebee would have. And there's quite a few other bees that the spider and or the pastel can make, or other combinations that go with those two. There's killer bees, stinger bees, queen bees, lesser bees. There's all kinds of different bees, as it were, in the bee line, okay, that include one or two of these genetics, one or both of these genetics to begin with. However, This is Chad. We are the Reptile Rangers here at the Kernersville Reptile Zoo and Medical Center. This is the Bumblebee Ball Python, and we hope you've enjoyed this. Feel free to write us in. Let us know of other things you want us to film about. Our information will be in the description below for those needing to get in touch with us. And also, don't forget about our TikTok channel entitled Reptile Rangers, our Instagram page entitled Kernersville Reptile Zoo, and of course, we do have the storefront here with supplies and pets and all the good stuff that goes with that, and the food. So feel free to come see us here at the store or at the zoo. If you're looking for something, we probably have it. Or if you're just looking to have a good time and come see some really cool animals like the king cobra or Fritz, the tortoise up front that a lot of people love and love hand feeding him, then you come on by and see us anytime. Our information and address will be in the description below. Now again, we appreciate you following along with us week after week after week. We'll see you at the zoo, or we'll see you on the next episode. Later.